All right, guys, I think it's time for an update. I've got over 188,000 miles later. This is my super long-term review on my Prius Prime, and yeah, this is it. It's dirty. It's super dirty. My son has been borrowing it, and he doesn't take the best care of it. He doesn't really wash it or anything like that. Leaves it a mess on the inside, so I took it back, at least for now. I gave him the white RAV4, and he's driving that. So, long-term review on this, okay? So this is what it looks like. I tinted the windows. I just added these things, these little side visors, and I really like those. I'm using the Bridgestone Weather Peak tires, okay? And I'll be honest with you, I'm liking them. So these have the mountain snowflake on it. My son did that. He scraped that up good. Yeah, they're supposed to be 70,000 mile on these. I think I'm going to get close to it. I do. They are pretty good for all weather driving. I did drive a little bit in the snow with these, and they were, for the most part, okay. There's a couple of videos I made with the Bridgestone Weather Peak tires. So not cheap, but they are good, and I just got tired of switching to studded snow tires, which I would do if I was driving in deeper snow. Okay, now of course it doesn't snow a ton over here, but this is a condition of about 188,000 miles on the vehicle. Again, the only thing that I hate is this bumper, but it's original, guys. It's got a lot of marks on it, cracks, and all I did was I taped it up just like that. Looks great. It's got a couple cracks there. It's like $500 to repair, and I'm not down for that, so I just used electric tape, and it works good enough. Okay. What else? I've done a couple repairs on this vehicle. We're going to talk about the latest one here in a little bit. And I mentioned in some of my previous videos too, in my review, some of the problems that I've had with this Prius. And honestly, not too much except for my black screen of death that happened. So everything's still working. Let's see if I can get these doors to open up. Like, the condition of the inside is pretty darn good. It's kind of a mess in here. I've got just all sorts of stuff. This is the back seat. Looks really good overall. I've got I don't know if this is leather or fake leather or what, but nobody sits back here, so it looks great. You see that? Nobody sits back there, so it looks great. Yeah, so the only thing that did fall apart, and I mentioned in my previous videos, I beat this to hell, so I just kind of jerry-rigged it, fixed it. Here's one of the oil filters I've used, a Canaan oil filter. I like this. This thing seems to last quite a while. This will last the 10,000 between oil changes, and seems to work pretty well. It says 20,000 mile protection, but I don't ever go that high. Works good though. I like that. Okay. There's a couple other filters that seem to work really well. I've got the paper filters, which honestly I kind of dislike it, but hey, you know, it's done the job. Not too much damage. You know what's crazy about this vehicle? I am on the original windshield still, knock on wood. Yeah, this is the original windshield, guys. Look at that, Toyota, and this is at 188,000 miles. Okay, I've got the crossbars on the top. Those are ridiculously expensive. I did have a cargo carrier at one time. I like these visors that I put on as well. They look pretty good. They keep, when it's raining, I like to crack my windows. I like to crack them down, especially in the summertime when it's really hot. And when it's really hot and you're in this vehicle and you park it in the sun, it's good to kind of crack the windows like that. So here we go. 188,275 miles. I'm going to be driving this car a lot more nowadays. for just for work and whatnot. So it's just going to be driven by me a lot more. I got my truck over there still, and I love it. It's just I'm only getting like 22 miles a gallon in the truck, and well, the Prius, it's ridiculous how many miles I'm still getting. So the last 100 miles I've driven, the last 118 miles, I've averaged 56 miles per gallon. The last 7,000 miles, I've averaged 53.3. So not bad. Now my lifetime mileage is not great. It's 45.2. But that's 188,000 miles, and that's driving on the freeway going like 70 to 80 miles per hour, okay? Lifetime. So you can decide what you want with that information. But overall, I'm still averaging over 50 miles a gallon. It's now summertime, or it's early summer, it's now springtime, I guess, in the Pacific Northwest. It's obviously beautiful out there, guys. And so, long-term review, it's been a great car overall. Honestly, I've had very little things go wrong with it. I did have to replace a wheel bearing, one wheel bearing. It was the right rear wheel bearing, and then I think it was the right rear. It was one of the rear wheel bearings, and then also the two rear shocks, struts. Those were really, really easy to do yourself. And they didn't last that long, but there's videos on that I made as well. I am up to date on all maintenance on this vehicle, so I've got other videos that show my maintenance that's done on this vehicle. That includes the CVT transmission fluid flush. It's included the air. I just actually did the air conditioning recharge on this vehicle, and it helped a lot. I'll be honest, it was actually really easy to do. I got one of those. I should probably make a video of that later. But the air conditioning was not blowing very cold starting last summer, and so this year I recharged it, did it myself. Honestly, it just takes like 5 minutes to recharge with air conditioning Freon. Worked really well. Just added a little bit, topped it off. Didn't go crazy and overboard with the Freon. It's blowing cold air again. So what else have I done to this vehicle? You know what? I'm still on the original brakes. I'm at 188,000 miles on original brakes. My next video that I do will probably be me replacing those brakes, and they're easy to do, guys. They're so easy to do. Like, don't take your car to get it fixed if you're somewhat mechanically inclined at all. Make sure you subscribe to see those videos that I've done on this Prius, because there's a lot. But let's see what else. This right here, okay? So this screen right here went all black on me a couple weeks ago, and I took it to the dealership. I even called Toyota of North America to try to help me out. And you know what? They didn't want to help me out because they're like, well, you got too many miles. And I'm like, oh, I get it, but this is an expensive, really important function of the vehicle. And they're like, well, sorry, you're out of luck. And so I was out of luck. I did talk to them. I did negotiate with the sales advisor, the service advisor, and see if I could negotiate the price a little bit, or see what he could do to give me some kind of discount. He claims that he did, so I'm hoping he did. It was $2,500 for the parts, $400 for the labor, and if I knew the labor was going to be $400, guys, I would have done it myself. Okay. I think they swapped out the core. I mean, they essentially what they did is they took out, they popped this out, just took out the screen part over here, and all this, and just swapped it out. Okay, that was it, and it works again. The question is it ever going to have problems in the future? And I hope not. I really hope not. I saw these on eBay for about $1,200, $1,300 plus, up to $2,000 for a used screen, and I was not gonna buy a used screen for that much. I've been burned before buying parts on eBay. Like, it's not good, you know, so don't buy on eBay. I don't recommend eBay for too many parts, I'll be honest with you. Nowadays, there's lots of like OEM parts too that are no good. But I just charged the vehicle, so my electric range, let's see if you can see my electric range on my heads-up display. EV, it says I get 24 miles of range. That's about right, you know, I'll say that's about right. 24 to 25 miles of electric range right now during this type of weather when it's nice and beautiful. Okay, so honestly, for as many miles as I've got, that's pretty darn impressive. In the wintertime, it's going to drop probably down to 20 or less. Yeah, I'd say about 20. 20, 25 in the summer, 20 in the wintertime. That's my current range on my battery pack when I charge it up. And I have a level 2 charger, and it is over there on the wall. Okay, you can see my level 2 charger right over there. Okay, so that's where it is. And so the level 2 charger works really great, charges it up in about 2 hours. What else? I have replaced the battery in this vehicle as well. So if you guys are curious about all the maintenance stuff, scroll through my channel, look at the videos for the Prius Prime, and you'll see a whole bunch of things that I've done to this vehicle. The 12-volt battery was changed out, all the fluids. I've done spark plugs twice in this vehicle. The last time so it was funny, when I went to the dealership, they wanted to do an alignment on my vehicle, which is unnecessary because I already had one done. They're just looking for things to do, and they're like, oh, you need a new 12-volt battery. I'm like, dude, I just replaced it 40,000 miles ago. And then they're like, oh, well, you need this, or you need new spark plugs. And I'm like, no, I just did those like, 5,000 miles ago. So whenever you take your vehicle to the dealership, the mechanic worked together with the service advisor to try and add extra things to your service. When I went in there just to fix the screen, they just come back and say this needs to be done, that needs to be done as recommendations, and no, they don't. They don't. And the reason why I know that is because I do everything myself. But they kind of try to rip you off, I mean, whatever. It's unfortunately the nature of the beast when you go to a dealership. I hate going to the dealership. That's why I do everything myself, so that you guys can do it yourself. Okay, or at least as much of it as possible. This car still rides really smooth, guys. It's still really quiet. And I used to have the Comma self-driving unit in this vehicle. It worked great. I loved it. I've got a Vantrue right now, and I like my Vantrue still. It's working really good. Well, is it working? Come on, guys. Maybe it needs to get plugged in. Let's see. There it is. It's on. It's working. Okay, I like the Vantrue that I've got. It's working well. Everything's working. Like, okay, here's the passenger seat. Looks great. No issues. It just needs a good scrubbing, Like, armrest is still working good. Some of the cracks that I had in the windshield, I actually ended up just filling them in with the do-it-yourself windshield crack repair, and it's held up, guys. Like, this is the OEM windshield. And here's the thing, I hate replacing windshields unless you absolutely have to, because it does a couple of things. Number one, it ruins the original seal, and sometimes when they put in the new windshield, it's actually, you get some more wind noise, additional wind noise from it, whether it's from the seal or the rubber gasket. That's always a potential possibility. But then they have to like calibrate the other stuff, with the cameras and all that. And anyways, if you ever replace the windshield, make sure you have windshield protection. I always do. Get windshield protection with like $100 deductible or something. So if I do need to get a new windshield, nowadays they're so ridiculously expensive. The car runs smooth, fellas. Like, I put a K&N air filter in here. It's good. It's fast. I like it, to be honest. It's funny, but I put a K&N air filter in my Honda Ridgeline, and it actually did not make my truck run better. It actually made my truck jittery and not run as well. So that was interesting. So I just swapped it back out to the original OEM filter, and it ran great again. So sometimes I notice that when you're using non-OEM parts for some vehicles, it does not make them run better. Same thing for the oil filters. I haven't had any issues with the Prius, but with my Honda truck, I put in a K&N oil filter and it made my truck run worse. You know, so I think it changed probably the oil pressure amounts in the engine when I did that. But the Prius has been awesome. I just get a pair of Rhino ramps, and I've got a Femoto valve on this vehicle, and it makes it run really good. It's been in no accidents, guys. Yeah, the vehicle's not, knock on wood. Okay, like I've had no accidents in this vehicle, and it runs really good. I would say probably one of the best vehicles I've had, hands down, except for the stupid $3,000 repair black screen of death that I hope I never get again. God, I'm still a little bitter about that, if you can obviously tell. I'm gonna drive this vehicle a lot, probably 15 to 20,000 miles this year. Usually I average about 40,000 miles, but I'm gonna split them up. I'm gonna split my miles up between this and my truck. So yeah, we'll see how it does. I want to reach 200,000 miles and do another review on that. I think I'm coming up due probably this summertime. I might do the transmission fluid CVT change again. That seems like it's coming up due, so I want to do that. And what else? I think that was it. Like I said, I haven't done the original brakes on this vehicle yet, so that's going to come up this summer as well. And I don't know if I have any other updates, guys. Like, I have other long-term reviews that I've done on this vehicle, so watch those as well. But in terms of like the latest, the tires, the struts, the head unit screen over here, those were kind of some of the other big problems that I had, and I'm not foreseeing any other problems with this vehicle that I can think of. So I did put Apple trackers in all my vehicles. I kind of like that idea, so I've done that. So I just hide the Apple trackers in here, and you know, it's kind of nice to know where my kid's taking my vehicle if he's borrowing it. But yeah, give it a thumbs up. If you guys have any other specific questions, let me know. The EV battery range has not degraded much at all with this. Like, it's really good. Give it a thumbs up. I can't think of anything else. Over and out, guys. All right.